Hey guys, Lex Levinrad over here, and just wanted to do a brief discussion, if you will, with you guys about the number one question that I get asked, and that is, how do you find a deal? All right, so I see too many people, too many new investors, and if you're watching this, you may be a new investor yourself. I see too many people focusing on the wrong thing, and I see you guys focusing on content. In other words, you're trying to analyze and absorb all of the information that's out there, and you're logging onto every webinar, you're going to every seminar, every workshop you can, reading every ebook or every free download you can get to try and learn how to start flipping houses. And I see a lot of you not achieving results, and the reason is because I think you're focusing on the content side, and what I want you to try and do is focus more on the action side. And what I mean by that is that don't pay so much attention to the specific method or one specific method. They all work, okay? I've trained 2,000 plus students how to wholesale and flip houses. And I can tell you for a fact that just today, for example, we were speaking with different students, and one of our students found all of these deals on hubzoo.com. And another student we were talking to today found a bunch of their flips, including one where they made $32,000 on HUDhomestore.com. And that's just a wholesale deal, right? Without touching the property. I've got some of my best deals, and some of my students' best deals have come from motivated seller marketing, where we're sending out postcards or yellow letters. And I interviewed a student today who's got a lot of his deals where he's made a huge spread of $30,000, $40,000 on a house off of bandit signs he put out in the neighborhood. And you know, when I go to these real estate meetings, a lot of times I overhear investors talking about, oh, bandit signs don't work, or postcard marketing doesn't work, or Hubzoo doesn't work. And I'm here to tell you that they all work. But the key is you have to be consistent, number one. And number two, you need to know your product, right? You cannot buy a house in a neighborhood if you have no idea what that house is worth or what other investors would pay for it. You also cannot really fix and flip a house in a neighborhood unless you know what other people who are buying a house with a mortgage would pay for that house. So first, do your homework. Pick one specific location and learn it well. Understand what cash buyers would pay in that neighborhood, and understand what, if you fixed the house up, what you could sell it for. Now, once you're armed with that information, making offers becomes much easier, because whether you're going on Hubzoo's website or Auction.com's website, or maybe even if you're doing a mailing campaign, you're now targeting that specific area, and you know exactly the price point of where you can buy it, and you're very comfortable that you could flip a house to someone at a certain price point, or what price point rehabbers would buy a property from you for, right? So if you start doing that, you'll start getting deals done. And then if you wholesale a couple of deals like that, and you build up a little bit of capital, you'll be able to come to someone like me and say, hey, I want to buy this property, I can put 10 or 20,000 down, can you give me the loan? And I'll say yes, if it's a decent deal. And now at that point in time, all you got to do is come out with the rehab money, and that's when you can start making $40,000 or $50,000 or $60,000 like you've seen some of my students do. And I got to tell you, when you start doing deals like that, if you're making $50,000 or $60,000 a deal and you start doing 4, 5, 6 deals at a time, that really, really adds up, and you can start making an incredibly large amount of money. But it all starts back with going back to the core, to the beginning, and that's what I try and teach at my boot camp. And I do that boot camp twice a year for wholesaling, and I have another fix and flip boot camp twice a year, so it's a total of 4 boot camps a year. And that's what I teach people, is the fundamentals, because there's too many people out there that are just focusing on content and saying this is the method or that's the method, and there is no one method. In any given week, if I were to look at the deals, last week I bought 7 houses. If I were to look at those 7 houses, I might have gotten 1 house off a yellow letter, 1 house off a postcard, 1 house off of HUDhomestore.com, 1 house off of Auction.com, 1 house off of Hubzoo.com, and 1 house from a realtor, right, as a referral. So does it really matter where I found the house? No. Does it matter if I bought it from a wholesaler and paid them a fee? Absolutely not. I got a house that I just put on the market for $169,000 that I found from a wholesaler for $88,000. Now, he made his $5,000 fee flipping that house to me. So when you start adding up all of these sources, wholesalers that are sending out deals, sending out postcards, sending out yellow letters, putting out bandit signs, making offers on Hubzoo, making offers on Auction.com, just going on the MLS and looking for deals and calling realtors. Even on Realtor.com, you can find deals, all right? The point is, pick a market, be consistent, and make offers. And a good rule of thumb I like to make is make 5 offers a day, which is 25 offers a week or 100 a month. And I got to tell you, if you're making 100 offers a month and you're not getting at least 5 houses under contract, you're doing something horribly wrong. You're either offering way too low, which is what I find a lot of beginners do, or you're just not understanding the numbers in your market. All right, so wholesaling and flipping houses is not rocket science. It's actually quite easy. You're just finding deals at a discounted price that you can flip to other investors so that they can fix and flip those houses and make a profit. That's it. Don't overthink it. All right, so we've got a distressed real estate boot camp coming up which teaches wholesaling. And if you want to learn how to wholesale and flip, then by all means go ahead and add your info below, and we'll send you some info to show you how you can get started.